There's something about this time of year that really feels like a fresh start. The soil is starting to warm up, and so is the weather. The beds are getting ready, and it finally feels like we can put in the hard work. This bed I probably should have prepared before this day because we had gotten rain about 3 days before, and we have clay soil which holds onto water, and the soil was really wet beneath the grass layer, so I had to replace a lot of what came out with some mulch and compost. The last time we did this, it was much drier and we did not have to pull out as much dirt with the grass layer, but you live and you learn. This is the bed now that it's filled up. Basically what I did is I pulled up the layer of grass on top and filled in what I took out with our big pile of mulch, and then I put the dirt and compost on top. And now I've got my potatoes, got red Lesota here, and that's what I'm gonna plant actually in this bed here. I gotta pull that up. And then I'm gonna do half from the female and half from the nursery of all Kennebec on this bed. So let's get going. Last year, we only planted a small amount of seed potatoes, probably close to 1.5 pounds, just to see how well they would grow in our area with our soil. And we harvested probably about 2 or 2.5 pounds. So we took that as a relatively good sign, since we didn't really do much to tend to them, that potatoes will grow well in our area. So with that being said, this year we are going way bigger than we did last year, and I've never planted this many potatoes in my life. I don't even know if I planted this many plants of anything in my life. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. Oh, I can't remember how many pounds of potatoes we bought. I think the original one we bought was, I think, 3 pounds of the Kennebec and 2 pounds of red Lesota. So that would be 5, and then we bought 5 this morning. So planted 10 pounds of potatoes. I am really looking forward to seeing how they do throughout the season. The plan is to mound them with soil as they grow and harvest them, I think, around June. It is February 16th, so we've got 4 months. So, all right, I go inside now. Shit, I forgot that I have to put the chicken fencing back on. So. Today is February 19th, and my tomatoes have been, I started my tomatoes, I think it was like February 1st. So they're almost 3 weeks old, and they're getting a little bit too big for the cabinet that I have them in, because originally we started our seeds in a smaller cabinet. I'll kind of post a picture. I never got any footage of it when we took the lights down. But I got some greenhouses online on sale, and so we set those up in our shed, so that way we can, like, I can raise and lower the lights a little bit better, because in the cabinet that we were using, I was having to raise and lower my plants by like stacking books underneath them and unstacking them when they were growing. So this is just like a lot easier. So I currently have my peppers out in the shed, in the greenhouse, and they've been there for about 2 weeks, I think. Maybe a week and a half. And now I am going to get my other lights that my husband took out of the cabinet for me today and get them hooked up in the greenhouse, and my tomato plants moved over. Okay, so this is the greenhouse I was talking to you about in the shed, and I have it closed right now. So here are all our pepper seedlings. We really have to pot them up this weekend, like pretty badly, because they're getting big. So here are, these are most of our sweet peppers. We've got a few bell peppers, some sweet gypsy, and then I got 2 eggplant plants here. And then on this side, we've got sweet banana, poblano seeds from last year. Oops. I guess also poblano seeds from last year. Jalapeno seeds from this year. Jalapeno, you can't read that, but it does say jalapeno 25. And this is also jalapeno seeds from last year. So I think I did 3 of each. And then down here, we've got some habanero. We've got some garlic chives growing here. If anyone knows like how to deal with mold, like growing on the roots, please tell me. This is cayenne. We've got a lot of cayenne that, to be honest, aren't looking too great because I dropped them. But these are actually seeds from cayenne peppers from our harvest last year. So we're really hoping that these do pretty well. And then down here, we've got some strawberries that really just need to be planted. We're just keeping them in here for convenience. I'm gonna set up, I've got 1 light here, but I got, I wanna put 1 more on this row, and then I'm basically gonna use the floor as a shelf. So I need to sweep that out, and then I'm gonna hang 2 lights from here. And I'm hoping to be able to get all my tomato plants in here under all the lights. The strawberries are gonna have to move somewhere else, but they should be outside anyway. So I just moved all of these in here. It was a little bit hard because they're all a little fickle, so I didn't really film because I was just trying to focus on making sure nobody got damaged. So these are all of my paste tomatoes. In the back, I've got 2 rows of Roma, and here I've got a row of Hungarian Italian paste. And then down here, I've got my cherry tomatoes and slicers. I've got black cherry, red cherry, and a golden cherry, which is called Honeycomb Hybrid. And then I've got big rainbow, beefsteak, and purple Cherokee for my slicers. Here we go, we've got the whole cabinet.
I was actually looking back at some photos from this time last year, trying to figure out why the seedlings that I tried to start last year seem so much smaller than what I have going on this year. When I was looking through the photos, I realized that we hadn't even started them yet at this point. No wonder I fell behind last year. We ended up buying all of our vegetables from starts at the nursery because obviously I did not plant my seeds in time. And we ended up with a great harvest. I was really happy with those. But this year we really wanted to challenge ourselves to try and start everything from seed again and do it the right way. We started our peppers and eggplants this year on January 10th, and I started my tomatoes a few weeks later on February 1st.
Misty, don't you dare be eating my cat's food. Get out of this house. Misty.
Some of the pepper plants even came from the seeds that we saved from our harvest last year, which feels kind of special to me. They're not perfect. They're not nursery sized or aesthetic. You can see we literally did them in plastic cups and red Solo cups, but that's what works. And they're ours.